we are back. It's not going to be Baby Souls. It's just going to be Dark Souls 2. But we just got back to Majula. We have all these souls. We're actually going to fully upgrade our armor as much as we can. Like, there's no point in not. It doesn't do us a ton of good, but it does us at least a little bit of good. We need more large Titanite.
I'll be around if you...
I think Kaloyan sells some. Let's see if we got any souls to burn.
You've been, well, these stones mainly, some, none of, you know how, well, each, maybe that?
I swear she gives us a gift at some point.
Visit me again.
What?
So I don't think we're going to have enough Titanite chunks to get everything up to plus 10. But we can get 2 of these up to plus 10. And then just 1 of these up to plus 10. And as we accumulate more Titanite chunks, because we've got the slabs, we just need the chunks.
I'll be around if you make it.
So let's see if there's just a straight armor status. No, this is our defenses. So versus strike, we've got 654. If we go back to Maulin's armor set, which nobody's going to aggro here in Majula, we're too high level. They don't care that it's become painfully clear we killed Maulin. So, going back to Maulin's armor set, now we've only got 160 defense versus strike. So adding that 500 defense versus strike is like a 10% tops, 15% damage reduction. If you play this, armor is for fashion. Like, the correct way to play this is virtually no armor. Oh, we don't want that. And then you don't need to dedicate that much to endurance or vitality, whichever one upgrades equip load. Like, you want to dedicate some to get a couple extra strikes out of your weapon. Well, no, take that back. You don't even need to. You want to upgrade the stat that gets you more strikes out of your weapon, but you really don't need to upgrade equip load at all. The only reason to upgrade equip load is for your weapon, so you can swing that. Let's see how many dragon bones we have. Maybe we can upgrade the Lost Sinner weapon. 2? No, we don't have enough either. Alright, let's head back to Drangleic Castle. So we've got this door right here, which should be locked. And we got this, which doesn't work. So we're going up the ladder. Big, long ladder. But we've been doing cardio. And so we can make it up in a full set of armor. Now, we got this dude. And we need to feed him a soul, but there's no souls in here. None of these spawn. We've also got this dude right here. He is the first... I don't know. It's hard to say if he's a centaur or like the bottom of his body is a worm. Tough to say. But he's got the upper body of a human with a sword. Well, technically, just the upper body of a human. And then that upper body of the human has a sword. So, we want to kill one of these here, and we want the other one to follow us into the room. We don't want to fight these at the same time, because they can gang up on you, and they can stun lock you until you're dead. So look at you, buddy. You are going to do a solid for the team. And this only activates once. So let's say we activate it and we die. We can kill dozens of guys next to the statue. It'll never activate again. So if you're not sure, and you lure someone in here, and you kill him like right here at this spot, and you take the soul, this guy's already been activated. And it's nothing we need to worry about. And then you can see out there, through the doorway with the drop that we can't get back to, and because we can't climb up. Like, that's way too high. The lift has now been activated. And I believe that we can just homeward bone and get out of here. But we want to explore the rest of Drangleic Castle. And you'll notice Drangleic Castle, kind of an odd assortment of enemies. So the Royal Soldiers, they make sense. They serve the king. The Ruin Sentinels serve the king. NPC Invader, that dude. Ruin Sentinels serve the king as well. But this dude was a servant of the old Iron King. Like, what's he doing here? Like, why would he be aligned with King Vendrick? Because the way it goes, my understanding of the lore, is the old Iron King more and less was Vendrick in an era before this. And he dealt with the curse, and then his kingdom fell, and then Vendrick rose up in his place. So I guess theoretically, if we were to come back one cycle from here, we would see Vendrick's soldiers fighting for the new ruler. And then if we came back when that kingdom fell, and the next kingdom rose in its place, would see all the soldiers fighting for them. Let's get out of here. Let's go over here first. Let's grab this treasure chest. Pyromancy, which we don't use. And then we've got this chest over here, which is a mimic. If you play in online mode, most mimics are going to be marked with a message from another player. If you play in offline mode, you just kind of got to learn them. But you can see, I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see his teeth. But we can get rid of them. Uh-oh. Got us. I think he's going to one-shot us. Nope. We run. So maybe our armor did save us, like, right there. Because we didn't have much health left. So maybe armor is important after all. Back on the outside, it's still raining. If we were to take that tunnel back to the shaded woods, it would still be raining because that's the only way that makes sense. This door doesn't open. Like, I looked for a way to unlock this door for like an hour one time. That door does not open. But we've got this room in here, which has got 2 of the desert sorceresses in here. So be careful. Run in. Really not even get her. There we go. Estus Flask Shard. Our Estus Flask will be fully upgraded with that shard. There's still one more shard that we've got to get. Well, there's still one more shard that I'm going to get, but we'll just carry it in our inventory. And with that, we've completed the loop, and Drangleic Castle has been 100%ed. At least to the best of my knowledge. Like, maybe somewhere there's some illusory wall, but I'm not aware of it. I think we've got everything we need to out of Drangleic Castle. And I think we should be able to upgrade our other sword. The Lost Sinner sword, which strikes vertically as opposed to horizontally. And we want that for this next fight. Nope, we would need one more petrified dragon bone.
Don't expect it.
And actually, we may be able to gamble for it. Let's see how many smooth, small, and silky stones we have. Eight, and 4, and 4. We're gonna go gamble with
Is that a shard?
with the birds.
Here to see light. However,
So back to things betwixt. And with these guys, so if you drop something they don't want, they'll tell you. And also, I think if you drop multiples, they'll also tell you they don't want that. Remember, we leave. We don't discard, we leave. Like, let's drop 2, and they should give us a different dialogue.
not like that.
Yeah, so they're telling you you can't discard in multiples. Like, it would make this more efficient. Or you can't leave in multiples. Like, I've discarded before, and it's just completely lost. Like, discarding just deletes it from the game. But maybe, I'm saying 50-50, we get a petrified dragon bone out of this. We should get a demon hammer. Okay, Twinkling Titan, that's useful also. But we should get a demon hammer, which is a pretty good weapon. But we're not going to use it. And if you go back to Dark Souls Remastered, which came out 4 years after this game, when you start in the Undead Asylum, if you kill the demon, the Asylum demon, without retreating from his room and going down the stairs, that's the weapon he drops also. But I think it's a better weapon in this game than it is in Dark Souls Remastered. Okay, we didn't need to do that. I don't think there's any benefit to that. Life gem, good pickup. Okay, that was my fault, but that was a misclick. Like, I knew what I wanted to click, but I just didn't click it. Yep, I was more careful that time. And I don't know if there's a difference in the items or the good item probability by dropping the larger stones. Like, in a way, it doesn't matter. You have what you have, and you drop it, and you get what you get. So raw stones, it's going to be the same as Dark Souls Remastered, and probably the same as Dark Souls 3. Raw gives you higher initial weapon damage, but there's no scaling. I've never really messed with raw in this game. I do in Dark Souls Remastered, but I've never really messed with it in this game. Don't ask me why. A white ring? I think this is where we can appear as a helpful phantom, but we're actually an invader. Let me double check on that. Oh, we need to re-equip our rings. Let's go with that ring. That ring actually is more useful than I initially thought it was. And also, we're done with the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring +1. Like I said, there's so many levels that we've already got, and so few levels that we're going to need to get in the rest of the game. Yeah, take the appearance of a phantom. That it just doesn't matter. Okay, hold up. Yeah, patience. Patience is a virtue. My baby is more patient than you, and she's 7 months old. And this isn't smooth or silky at all. It's pleasant to the touch, but they're not asking for pleasant, they're asking for smooth and silky. Okay, well that's kind of nice, but not what we specifically wanted. There we go. There we go. And we're going to gamble away the last one. Because why not? Challenger's Trident? That's probably an intelligence weapon. Let's look. No, that's just really low damage. Alright, we got what we need. Let's head over and let's upgrade our Lost Sinner's sword. +4.
I'll be around.
You? Thank you, Kai.
And let's equip our Lost Sinner's sword, because the next boss, which is a really good boss, we want. Because he's got a shield that everything tends to bonk off of if you swing it horizontally. Like, you can travel like halfway through his body and hit his shield, and you bonk on the shield, no damage. So now that we're back, we activated this lift, and we can go up slowly. There's the ladder right there, but we're not on the ladder, we're on the lift. So that's where the ladder stops. And I guess when we're looking at the outside, we're talking about how there's that one tower that makes no sense. Well, I guess now it makes sense because we're going up there. Because, like, if you're going to put a tower there, any arrow you shoot is probably going to lose all its velocity by the time it reaches, like, the sieging forces on the ground. Because when you shoot an arrow... Okay, so we got this guy right here. We need a key to the embedded, and that goes in an uncomfortable place for him. And we got this chick right there, and we got some chests. But yeah, I mean, you shoot an arrow down, it starts with energy, and then gravity is going to pull it down at 32.2 feet per second squared. Another soul vessel. But it's going to encounter wind resistance. And the faster an object moves through the atmosphere, key to the King's Passage, that's what we want. The faster an object moves through the atmosphere, the more wind resistance it encounters. And so all objects traveling through the atmosphere, for the most part, come to some kind of equilibrium. That's why if you were to throw a penny or a dime or a nickel off of the Sears Tower or the Empire State Building, or back in the day the Twin Towers, it will not kill people on the ground. Just not going to happen. Like I saw someone did like the math. Let's go through here. And it's really not too different than dropping a penny from like 4 or 5 stories up. It would hurt, but it would not kill someone. Because you lose all initial momentum, which if you flip a penny off, it starts with negative momentum, which is traveling upward. Game's trying to tell us we're about to get ambushed. So like 3 or 4 of these guys will reanimate and attack us, but we want to fight the boss first. And I don't think we can even imbue this weapon. Let's see. Yeah, we can imbue this weapon. We're going to lose half of it right here, but that's alright. Let's run, run, run. But yeah, this guy had someone raised to that altitude to where a penny reaches its maximal downward velocity, and he got hit with like a bunch of them. He was fine. He didn't die. So now we got the Looking Glass Knight. That should have been a dodge. And that shield 100% protects him. And he will phase 2, I think based on time and not on damage. So there is a small amount of urgency. But he doesn't do a ton of damage, at least not to us. And because we have a slower swinging weapon, we're just more and less hit trading with him. Because we can't Well, he staggered there. But with a faster swinging weapon, we would be able to hit and then roll out. Okay. So he's going into phase 2. And he is going to summon an NPC invader. But these guys aren't hurt. If we were in online play, it's not too common anymore, but if we were in online play, it could be... Okay, seems like we just struck right through his shield there, but his summon could be another player, and that's when this fight gets like impossibly hard. Like if it's a good invader, now you're fighting an invader, and you're fighting the Looking Glass Knight. And the good invaders for this fight... The good invaders for this fight will use healing items, or healing miracles. And with miracles, they have a ton of heals. Because one of the checks for this game, for invaders, is they don't have as much Estus, or it's not as effective. I forget, well, I didn't really do invasions in this game. But if you use miracles, well, miracles are equally effective. So yeah. This guy is typically quite a bit harder if you use a horizontal weapon, because you're going to bonk 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5 blows. But with a vertically swinging weapon, we're just fine. And now we got these enemies, and they do come into the boss arena. So now, we 100% want a horizontal swinging weapon, because it just makes these guys easier to hit. That if they dodge right or left, we still get them. We need to run and heal. Yep, we are off on our swing, but we still got him because we swung horizontally on the power strike. So let's head back here. And there's some items in here we can get. Can't pick up a life gem. There we go, that's the item. No, that's the life gem we can't pick up. You know what? Waste not, want not. That's what I say. And a Twinkling Titanite, that should get us to +5. Which would be nice, because the next area is one of the tougher areas. Not one of the worst areas, but one of the tougher areas in the game. Let's check around all the corners. There's a chest back there. Got some bonfire aesthetics. Nothing over here. Got this elevator ride. This elevator ride's moving pretty fast, any faster, and there would be safety concerns, and so you can't complain about the length of the elevator ride. Alright, we're done. and there's no complaints about the length of that elevator ride. And thankfully these plants made this hole in the wall, otherwise we'd just go to a dead end. Like, that was good thinking right there on both the plants and the dev. Man, look at this. Like, we could have just reached a massive dead end and the end of the game. Like, we'd be going back to Nashandra and saying, we don't know where to go. Like, we don't know where to find the king. But we are at the Shrine of Amana. Let's travel back and get a level up. Let's upgrade our sword first.
I
What? We're still one short? That's Jack. We'll get one. We'll get one in the Shrine of Mana. Shrine of Mana does drop Titanite gems.
Bearer and
Blah, 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 blah. Now, before we go back to the Shrine of Amana, let me time check. I don't think we've been playing this episode for very long. Like 20 minutes, I want to say. 32 minutes. We are going to go buy some lightning pine resin from Vengara. So we go back to the Shaded Woods. And remember, the way through this is just run to the left, and then the first area to the left that we see will lead us to Vengara. And ideally, we didn't aggro anybody. Let's see if we did. Nope, we didn't aggro anybody.
Back again.
And we're just going to buy all that we can, because these are infinite. So 15.
Farewell.
And the reason we want
May we
these
meet again.
is because a lot of the Shrine of Amana is fought in standing water, and that introduces a pretty significant buff to our weapon when we have lightning damage. And we want to go through this area with as few strikes as possible on enemies. Any strike on an enemy that leaves it with just a little bit of health is very punishing. Look at that, 4 bonfires. So we're not going to equip it now, or we're not going to use it now, but we are going to have it ready to power up. We're not going to need it for this first area. Shrine of Amana is divided up roughly into 3 different difficulties. The first area, not hard at all. Second area is medium hard. Third area is hard plus if you die to the boss, which the boss isn't hard at all. But if you die to the boss, you replay the entire third part. We didn't make it. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, we got a Shrinking Titanite. No need to waste life gems. Let's see if he dropped anything. But yeah, we play in this water, and you see the drop off right there. As long as we're looking down, drop off is pretty obvious. Once we start fighting and rolling around, drop off becomes much less clear. But let's head back up here because I think we're still missing one weapon. And those guys, if you see like a bunch of fireflies around the water, it hides one of those guys. Sometimes they aggro from a distance, sometimes they aggro when you get too close to them. We're going to be aggroing quite a few of those guys, almost all of them. So let's head down and let's start on the first of the 3 areas. And so if you remember, when we fought that dude, it took us 3 hits. Well, it would have taken us 3 hits. We got him for 2 hits, and then he fell and he died. So when we start fighting more of those in the second area and the third area, we are going to be using the gold pine resin. These guys we hit and kill in 2 hits, probably no matter what. But that right there, where we leave them with just a little bit of health, that is the exact opposite of what we want. Like 180 degrees from what we want, from where we want to go. And let's just fight these guys, because they're dropping quite a few things. Yeah, look at that drop-off right there. Got them all. That's that dude. He's already dead. Then we got this cursor. That kind of takes priority over these dudes. He missed anyway. If you are struggling with this area, the tactic to use is bows. Talk to this lady.
We knew you were coming.
Thank you.
And stop singing.
Well, I hear the singing. So how did you
We
stop
are
if I hear it?
Milfinito. We are
Milfinito.
here
In
to
Japan,
sing
that
to
has a
those bound
completely
by
different
death
meaning.
And dark. We will sing here forever. We know and what.
All right, that's a good story. Like, we don't need to hear the rest of your story. Somehow, that's not a human. That's a Milfinito, which describes their species. That's not a title applied to them. So, let's kill these guys, because we don't want any of these guys coming back behind us when we fight 3 of them. And also, once we get into the next area, there's going to be quite a bit more ranged enemies. Okay, we may not need to waste a pine resin if we've already got one of them right here. Archdrake Mace. I don't think that's a very bad weapon at all. It's not the best weapon, but it's a decent weapon. Not for this late in the game, but if you get earlier in the game, it would be a pretty good weapon. And then we got a chest over here, and a drop off just to our left. Alright, so this is the easy portion. Not hard at all. And we got this guy. He's going to emit an orange cloud or a burnt yellow cloud that's going to destroy our equipment. We're going to see that more commonly as we go through the Shrine of Amana. Alright, we did get enough to upgrade this to +5 for sure. So let's go back and let's knock that out. Here, we jump from easy to medium hard. But at least we have a bonfire, like right there. And let's go upgrade. So, because we picked a Twinkling Titanite weapon, we are finally at +5. Had we been using, like, the Zweihander or the Claymore, we would have been at
I'll
+10,
be around.
like, several areas ago. So that is a downside. Once you play through this, if you see Twinkling Titanite upgrades for a weapon, you are not going to have that fully upgraded until about this point in the game. There are some farming areas, but I think the best farming area for Twinkling Titanite is the Shrine of Amana. Alright, and now we enter the ranged section. You see all these, not archers, but these magic casters? They are going to whittle you down. And these things home. So it's not just you get out of their way. They will actively work to get it back in your way. Here's an old knight for no particular reason. And remember to watch for the drop-offs. So we got that lady right there. We've aggroed an enemy behind us. But we want to get rid of this lady right here first. She is the priority. And we are going to heal. Oh, nope, we didn't. That's not heal. So you see that dude out there, we don't actually need to fight him yet. He does not respawn, but he guards an area just behind in those reeds, which we do not have access to, so we're just going to leave that guy there. We don't benefit at all from going to him. So let's come out here. Drop off is a very real danger out here. Because you see it just right there. So we are going to be facing down for the most part. And then we just won't have as good a view of enemies to the distance. We'll fight that guy in a sec. Let's get rid of these ladies right here. in here, there's an NPC you can spawn with a bow. The game's trying to tell you that bows make this area easier. Yep, look at that bow right there. But we're not going to summon him. So, we got this dude, and we got an item out there. We want that item out there. That is the last that I'm aware of. Estus Flash Shard, which we don't even need, but we're going to get it because I like it. It's just going to sit in our inventory. But, and there's 2 of the ranged casters out there. But, if you're dying over and over again, just let it go. And we need to watch for the drop-off. We're actually not going to pursue this guy further this way. So, we typically don't use a shield. We are going to use a shield because rolling as we work our way to the item is very dangerous. So we're going to equip a shield with maximum magic defense. Okay, well we don't have any shields with maximum magic defense. We don't have anything with magic defense. Okay, we're not equipping a shield. Last time I played this game, we had a shield with magic. Well, not we, but I had a shield with magic defense. So let's carefully work our way out there. And really what's going to happen is we're just going to be popping life gems. We're just going to be blocking shots. And then we just got to keep our health high. Yeah, we're not dodging anything. Well, we dodged that. But we just take the hits. Because look at that right there. There's a drop off right there. I think one hit and off she goes. Yep. It's life gem. Close the distance. We got it. Estus Flash Shard, 0 deaths. And we make our way carefully back. And if you're ever in this area and you see like an item that seems impossibly far away, it's probably just belongs to an area or a portion of the Shrine of Amana that we haven't been to yet. I think we can just work our way over here now. Yep. Okay. This is the tough one right here. Not this guy necessarily. But let's plus up our weapon. This guy, not so bad. It is down here. Let's grab that. This down here, we're going to see a group of enemies. They all aggro pretty much at the same time. Well, I mean for the melee part. So we are getting permanent arrows cast at us. So let's dodge one and let's life gem. But those two melee enemies come at us while she's still shooting at us. Okay, we got very lucky here. Okay, those two aggro no matter what at the same time. This lady doesn't attack. She does heal, though. So we don't really need to focus on her that much, because we can kill these guys in 2 shots. So, let's get it done. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And so she's going to heal. We got the magic caster behind her. And we don't really need to watch for the edge too much when we're just following her footsteps. Let's get up here. Let's get this item. Of learning skulls. I don't even think those would help in this area, because I don't think they help with casters. Maybe. I've never tried it. I've never used a learning skull in this game. Like, I've used it in Dark Souls Remastered, where you use it on the boar. But that's it. So let's go over to here. Kind of an optional area. And let's work our way over to kill her. Don't need it anymore. And we've got this ogre right here. He is a tougher ogre to fight because we're fighting him in water that obstructs our mobility. And so we're going to try to lure him. I don't know if we'll come all the way out to this little island. But we're going to try to lure him out to a little island. Nope. We got to fight him in the water. Okay, that's fine. I don't think there's any drop-offs just in here. Oh, we got an opportunity here, people. It's too good to last. We got him. And we got a Singer's Dress and the Life Ring +2, which we want to use. So, Life Ring. If you remember when we first got a Life Ring back in Force of the Fallen Giants, it did like nothing for us. Let's just unequip this. And let's see how much health we have. So we have 2,054. And when we use the Life Ring +0, we got like 2 or 3% more. Let's use this, life ring plus 2. Let's check our health. Now we are up to 2,300, so we got like a 10% bump right there. That's very useful. And let's see, I do want my Ring of Blades on. Let's see if there's anything else we don't need. Let's see how much our health drops, because we don't need the stamina and we don't need the max load. But let's see how much our health drops without the second dragon ring. 2,200, alright. We will take it. So we got a net 5% gain to our health. And we are done with the medium hard portion of the Shrine of Amana. Jump away. Here's a bonfire, let's rest. But we don't need to travel. We probably could get one level. It doesn't matter. One level, this late in the game, is not important. We are going to unequip all our rings, because we don't want any rings to break. And we're going to deal with this guy, then we're going to use a repair powder. And then we're going to re-equip everything and take on the last area of the Shrine of Amana. Let's check on our equipment status. Now we're good. We're going to use repair powder. Alright, this is the real deal right here. We've got all these people right there, and there is an invader that is coming for us as we progress further down there. How I like to do this is just work our way around from the right. So just work our way around in a circle and don't go into the middle. Stay out of the middle. And falling is still a very real danger. So be careful where we go. Alright, we want to heal. Got the heal off. That was big right there. Alright, things are starting to get out of hand. I think we can get away with life gems from this angle. And we're just going to use it because the invader's on his way. Let's get these items. We'll get that out of it. And we got this lady right here to kill. Yep. Alright, forget that lady. This dude's tough. he will one-shot you from close up. But you gotta get to close up, obviously, because we use a melee weapon. What I'm trying to do is aggro that serpent guy, or get to him, so we don't have to fight them both. Okay, bro. And the boss after this is easy. Like, this is the true boss of this area. So we don't need the heals. Get them off. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go back and get these items. But do not fall. Do not fall. You fall, it starts over. Where you going, lady? Red Iron Twin Blade. People like that weapon a lot. Once again, I don't really do the Twin Blade thing. So this. I have fallen to this before. We can't go that way. I think we can... Yeah, we can go this way. Just be careful. I'm scared of heights. And this counts as a height. Because although it's not a drop through air, it's a drop through water. And since we weigh more water than we displace, we would fall. Like, that's how it works. That's how buoyancy works. Where are we going? There we are. That's where we go. What? You're looking kind of rough, lady. And she died. We couldn't save her. So, we've been hearing the singing sound, but the other Milfinito says they stopped singing when we approached. So what are we listening to? Let's see how smart the devs are. What? The Demon of Song? That demon is what we've been listening to this whole time. And this boss is not a hard boss. So it's got that protective layer on it. We cannot strike through that protective layer. We have to wait for it to open. The way to fight this boss is just keep your distance. And let's just run around here. Keep our distance. And it'll do some jumping attacks. I don't know, that was more of a slide attack. Alright, we just jumped too soon on that one. But let's keep our distance. And let's plus up. There we go, that was a good. Well, no, that wasn't a good dodge. But that's alright. One more hit and it's done. This is going to be it, boys. We are done with the Shrine of Amon. And we got the key to the embedded, which we need to go back and collect that item. And people actually use the key to the embedded as a weapon. So this is it. Let's work our way out. One enemy stands in our way from no deathing Shrine of Amana. And you'll notice we were below water level in the Shrine of Amana. But these Drangleic engineers, if this even comes from the time of Vendrick, they know how to waterproof an underground passage. We are at the Undead Crypt. What? Wonder what wisdom Aldia has for us. Bro, we just talked like yesterday.
Young Hollow, conqueror of fear. What drives you so to overcome the supposed curse? Life you bring, beautiful. It enchants us to the point of obsession. Some are true to the purpose, they are shaped, flesh and mind. One man lost his own body, but lingered on as a head.
I met that guy.
Others fix the charms of love.
Have not met that person.
What is it that drives you?
Well, I'm trying to do a playthrough with commentary.
Once the Lord of Light banished dark and all that stemmed from humanity.
That's going to be in a future game, Dark Souls Remastered.
And men assumed a fleeting form.
Dark Souls Remastered.
These are the roots of our world. Men are props in stage of life, and no matter how tender, how exquisite,
Okay, I'm getting bored with this history lesson,
I will remain alive.
but we're going to listen to him, because we have to kill him later.
Young Hollow, knowing this, do you still desire peace?
No, I've been like on a kill streak since I walked into this land. I do not desire peace.
Venric, the near true monarch, is here, and not far off. But what is a king?
So a king is a ruler of a political subdivision.
What is it you seek? You cannot even say yourself.
I just told you. Like, I literally just told you.
We shall meet again, young Hollow.
I forget if we do meet again. If we were just to run through and kill the bosses without activating his fight, I don't think we do meet again. So it seems a bit presumptive for him to think we're going to meet again, because we could just fight Throne Watcher, Throne Defender, and then beat the game. So, this has been a long playthrough, or at least a long episode of this playthrough. So that's going to be it, and we will pick this up at the next episode. Thanks for watching.